I'll just say this is the most beautiful statue, the most beautiful monument I have ever seen. Right? And I don't think I have ever seen a monument that I like more. This is like the ideal monument. All right? It says so much. I'll show it. I got a couple different angles of it. That's another angle so you can see how big it is. Just absolutely beautiful. This is the Senegali Monument to Independence. All right? The monument for the independence of Senegal. All right? Here it is. We got a couple different angles. And it is beautiful on a number of different levels, right? It was built by North Korea. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea built this beautiful monument as a way of showing solidarity with the people of Senegal and their history of anti-colonialism. And it is absolutely beautiful on a number of levels. And I will tell you why. First things first, it is pro-natal. It has a baby on it. It's saying we need more people in the world and that having children is a good thing, not a bad thing. That's very, very important because right now, especially when it comes to the African continent, the position of the imperialists is a degrowth position. Is a position that there are too many people in the world and we need to reduce the population. And this monument celebrates having children. It has a little child pointing to the future, saying we want a better future for our children. That's the first thing I like about this monument. The second thing I like about this monument is it glorifies physical strength, right? It shows a very, very muscular African man, right? That is not an overweight man. That is not a skinny man. That is a very, very muscular man. It is presenting the African people not as poor, oppressed victims, not as people to feel sorry for, right? South Park used to have that very, very offensive joke about starving Marvin, the Ethiopian or whatever. That is not the image. It shows the African people as the heroes of their own liberation with a very, very muscular and physically fit man leading the way, holding up his infant son and holding his wife. I assume they're married. I mean, we don't know. There's no wedding rings, I guess, but I assume they're married, right? Showing a strong, physically fit African man as the center of the icon with his child on the monument. In addition to that, it has the mother on the other side, and he's holding her up, meaning that women must be held up as part of the liberation struggle, right? That women are an important part. They are half of humanity. Women hold up half the sky. And that the family, the mother and the father coming together and loving each other and raising up their child points toward the way to the future. And you notice they're all both looking upward. They're looking upward. And that is very, very important too, because the future is bright. The future is great. There is development on the horizon. There is hope and technological progress. Tomorrow will be better than today. And this is the best monument I have ever seen. And it is not a coincidence that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, one of the most relentless and heroic communist governments in the world, a government that has endured years of blockade and sanctions and threats and never surrendered, that they built this amazing monument. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that that it is not a coincidence that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea built this phenomenal monument. And I hope that someday I get to visit Senegal and see it for myself. I would like to see this monument up close because it's a damn good monument. This is the best monument I have ever seen. This, folks, is called socialist realism. I don't know if you're aware of this, but before the CIA funded modern art, before the CIA's Congress for Cultural Freedom program, before left wing and socialist politics was distorted, this is the kind of art that leftists, socialists, and communists promoted. Socialist realism that made ordinary people, fathers and mothers and children and soldiers and farmers and bricklayers and teachers and lawyers and ordinary people into heroes. Socialist realism. During the Great Depression, when millions of Americans lost their jobs, Roosevelt hired the unemployed and he put them to work building post offices and painting murals throughout the United States. And the murals and post offices the murals in the post offices and the murals in the union halls and the art that was built was socialist realist art. It was this kind of art. They called it, in the Soviet Union, where it was being made to promote the project of building a communist government, they called it socialist realism. In the United States, when it was built to build a working class movement, but not necessarily to glorify a communist government, they called it social realism. But this was the kind of art that was celebrated and promoted by the global communist movement until the CIA started funding abstract art and modern art and the work of Jackson Pollock. This is our movement. And today in Moscow, if you go to the Moscow subway system, you will see this same kind of art. You will see this same kind of beautiful socialist realist art that celebrates humanity, celebrates looking toward the future, celebrates the working class, celebrates the struggles and the sacrifices of the common people, celebrates the dignity of human labor. This is amazing. And it also points to the very, very close relationship that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea has with the global anti colonial and anti imperialist movement.